Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early February 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Geminis. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My God, Spirit Team, talk to me. What do we got for Gemini gang in early February? What's the vibe? What energy is, messages, insights? Can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini gang in early February, please. What is the vibe? What's going on around, my friends? Let's get this first card out nice and quick. For the Geminis, there we go. Ask and you shall receive. Lots of self-reflection with this card. So I'm not sure if that's you or somebody else. This card always reminds me of the Six of Cups because it does have ties to the past. There's a lot of mulling something over here, right? Lots of thought action. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So we see the image here with that lovely lady in the blue dress. She is in the center of the card with her eyes closed, hand on the face. She has a locket. There's like a baby doll and there's notes and letters. So to me, this card screams of somebody either thinking about something deeply or reminiscing or both. So for a lot of Geminis, maybe you're taking some trips down memory lane. Maybe you're thinking about situations that have already elapsed, or there could just be something in particular that is like on your mind, much heavier than other things, right? Now, this isn't necessarily a bad card or a challenge card. It just does speak about the past for one reason or another, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. That's always a big vibe here. It's emotional too. Like, aside from all the thought processing, it's like feeling things deeply. Now, I've been seeing that for a lot of the zodiac, especially the last couple of weeks, where it's like everyone's energy and emotions are heightened. So that makes sense when I see this card. Now, another thing I always speak about, the fact that there are letters, there's notes, there could be some importance placed around talking, communicating. So whether it's conversations that are coming in or ones that have recently elapsed, we'll just have to see if we get little signals of that through the main part of the reading. But we're just going to put her down over there for now. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for you, Gemini. What's happening? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was a bit of a doozy. The reading was titled A Shocking Situation. There was a big tower energy showing up. So hopefully if you did have some towers, they were good ones. And you know me, I always say not every tower is a bad tower. Sometimes it's really good. It could be something that catches you off guard, or it's just really, really strong, like intensity of emotion and feeling and energy in general. So that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, so I would just be a little cautious. But aside from that, we're just going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for you, Gemini. What do we have in early February? For my good friends, please. Let's get this first card out. Thank you. Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, the energy might be settling. I don't want to say anything yet until we get the next couple cards, but this is a very grounded type of energy here in position number 1, which could be good or it could be frustrating. I guess it depends on your point of view. Let's get a couple more. Thank you. All right, 5 of Swords, a little intense. That might be something I really keep an eye on. Let's get one more. It feels like something from the outside. It's like outside issues, outside people. It's like, all right. Okay, we have the Emperor. So there are some strong individuals showing up in your reading this week as well. We're definitely going to have to look at this further, because I feel like it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag this week. There could be a lot of really good potential, but at the same time, there's a few things we most definitely want to keep an eye on. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, we have a nice spread out mixture of elements. And you know, I always look at the elements first. We have earth, we have air, we have fire. Now up here in the front, it's grounded, it's not moving too much, but it gets a little wonky back here when we mix the fire and air. That can be very explosive. So I will say this, it doesn't feel as intense or wild as it did last week. So I guess that's a positive silver lining, right? But we're just gonna have to see how it all plays. Like, these could be different individuals or people, and they could be different situations or the same thing. Hopefully this isn't two people like not seeing eye to eye. Because notice we have the Queen of Pentacles, Emperor, and then we have the Five of Swords in the middle. So it's like we're bumping heads here. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number one, we are starting here with the Queen of Pentacles. Beautiful. That's usually a very good card. Now, for some of you, you might be connected to an earth sign. So Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Remember, it's not gender specific, so it doesn't even really matter in that sense. But queens represent the internal aspects of their suit. When we're looking at Pentacles, this is a very well-grounded, material-based type of energy. So it could represent work, career, business, living situation, family. We think of the material world when we see the Queen of Pentacles, and she's very secure. So in the positive sense, this could be some sense of security or predictability coming into a situation. But the challenge with her is sometimes it's immovable, right? Sometimes this is an energy that's stuck or feels planted. So hopefully you're not going through any situations where you feel like you're running into a brick wall, or it's just something that's lingering. That's the challenge of her. But she is great when it comes to money, finance, work, career. So I would say that's a pretty great way to start normally. Now, moving to the center, we do get a bit of a different twist of energy that we want to watch out for. I feel like this is going to be one of the more important aspects of the whole entire reading, because this could tell us either how someone's acting or people around you could be acting. Because like I said, to me, it feels like this is outside noise. Okay, position number two, we have the Five of Swords. Now we see this individual looks quite aggressive. He doesn't look too happy. He doesn't look too nice, right? Now there are positives to this card. I always say, just like the Five of Wands, this could represent determination. Someone that's focusing on themselves, where it's like, I'm going to do what's right by myself. I'm going to do what's right for myself. And I'm going to worry about me first. So maybe some Geminis are getting into that mode and mindset where you're like, you know what, as long as me and the people I care for are okay, that's all that matters, okay? And that doesn't mean it's selfish. Now, this card could also be very, very aggressive. It could represent conflicts. It could represent fights. It could represent anger and aggression, because you see him, he beat the crap out of the people in the background. So this is someone that want to fight or overcame something. Now, in its worst case scenario, aside from the conflicts and the fighting and the tension, that's what this is, a big tension of energy. This could represent someone you're connected to that could have a very big ego on them, someone that's very egotistical or angry or just super, super aggressive. And it feels like a funny vibe compared to the rest of it, because these two seem cool. These two seem like they're pretty chill. This Five of Swords is not. So worst case scenario, this could be a narcissistic individual, someone that can never admit when they're wrong, they never see they're wrong. Either that, or it could be a little bit of a malicious type of energy. We'll just have to see when we clarify, because I don't want to call it a challenge or a situation or a problem until we see more detail. Now, on to the back end, we have the Emperor. This connects to the zodiac sign of Aries. So if you're not connected to an Aries, this could represent a whole slew of different things. This is authority figures. So this could represent father figures, older male figures. This could represent bosses, managers, people who are in a position of authority of some kind, right? It doesn't even always have to be a male, just someone that has a lot of sway, someone that has a lot of control over a situation as well. Now, in the positive sense with the Emperor, if you're not connected to an Aries, this could be controlling your own journey, where it's like, you know what? I have control, I have the reins, and this is the way it's going to go. It's very entrepreneurial, and it's like, I got this on lock. Remember, this is the King of Kings. This is the divine masculine counterpart to the Emperor, so this is usually a good card. But the challenge with the Emperor, sometimes it could be a little overbearing. Sometimes it could represent situations where someone else is pulling the strings and we don't have much of a say, or we don't have much control in it. So hopefully you're not in any situations where you feel like there's not much you can really do about it. So we definitely need to dig into all this further, Gemini. So let's get the Emperor down right there. I want to dive deeper. Let's jump in and clarify. Pardon me. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for Gemini, please. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on, that Queen of Pentacles? And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's see what this Queen of Pentacles is about. Pardon me. Getting a little scratch in my throat for some reason. So for all of you out there, watch out for any issues or ailments of the throat. Okay, we have the Sun in the upright. This is beautiful. Okay, and I'm very cautious to get too carried away with this, because especially with what we have coming up next to it. So this could very well be the start of a really amazing reading for you, because the Sun is the most positive card in the deck. Big Leo energy, source energy. It's universal, it's spiritual. And whenever I see it, especially underneath a card like this Queen of Pentacles, it's like everything's good, everything's a-okay, everything's fine. Now, a lot of times with situations, whether it's relationships, work situations, when it's in the early stages, it's like, oh, this is awesome. This is like perfect. I can't pick out a negative. I can't pick out a problem. So whether we're just looking at how something started, or if this is something coming in, I would say this is claimable, especially anything revolving around business or things that you need to do day to day. Because the Sun, best card, it's victory, it's win, and they are huge, huge energies. Like, it's something that has a lot of implications. So this is really nice. Now, for a portion of you, especially like a mother figure, there could be a very important connection to motherhood, or a mother figure showing up here that could be very helpful. And with whatever situations you might be going through here, there's a certain loving, nurturing, caring. But for some of you, this is absolutely a huge winner victory coming in. Okay, we just need to see how the rest of this plays out. Either that, or something started off and it's like, I don't see anything wrong. I couldn't pick something out wrong if I tried. Like, everything seems to be in order. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving and see what that Five of Swords has, because that's really what I have my eye on here. Especially, I mean, some of you might just be in a place where, like, you're okay, you're cool in your own little bubble, but we need to watch out for the outside stuff. That could definitely be the case. But why is that Five of Swords here? Let's see what's up with that. Thank you. That doesn't feel bad. More Aries energy. So if you're not connected to an Aries, I'm just going to say this. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's actually my sun sign. And when we see Aries energy, that's the energy of an initiator. Someone that's taking action, making moves. Now, if there is any situation that you're dealing with, whether you feel stuck or up against the wall, Spirit is telling you to make a move. And now, I always say this in different readings, like, sometimes it is not the time for action. Sometimes we need to just stop and wait and let things develop however they will. But for Gemini, whatever it is that pops up in this coming days and weeks, it feels like there's something you can do about it, or there's something you should do about it. Don't just sit by, don't stand idly by. Like, there's action you should be taking. Another thing, and I'll say this as an Aries myself, we do get a reputation for being a little self-centered sometimes. I would say not every Aries, the unevolved version of Aries, right? Because with the Fool, with him, now the Five of Swords, it's like me. So for some of you, Spirit could just be telling you, like, listen, you make some moves, take some actions, focus on yourself, and do what's right for yourself. That can definitely be a message for some of you. But for another portion of you, if you are dealing with somebody that is very me focused, we might need to watch out for this individual. All right, that's one thing I will say. Now, the Fool in the upright is very positive. I'm just skeptical because of this Five of Swords. So it's like, yeah, keep pushing, but don't push too hard. It's about finding a balance. Let's see what the Emperor has to say. I'm still getting energy of, like, wins, victories. It's all here. Like, this one seems a little more day-to-day. It seems like it's not too hard. This is like a hard-fought victory in the center. Let's see what the Emperor has. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So far, so good for the most part, unless you're dealing with a very self-centered, egotistical person. But let's see why the Emperor is in the mix. Why is the Emperor here, please? Then we'll do our recap. Thank you. Beautiful. And listen, I wish I could point out some things to be a little weary of, but now could be the time for action for a lot of you. And I don't know how that fits for every single one of your personal situations, but this spread, aside from this Queen of Pentacles, it has been nothing but fire, nothing but action. Very, very explosive. So I can say this, for a lot of Geminis in this time, you can make a lot of big leaps and gains with a lot of situations. You could push a lot of things forward. You just have to be a little more aggressive in your approach. That's a big vibe I'm picking up here for whatever reason. And again, I mean, It's all about balance. Doesn't mean you have to go out and scream at people and really be pushy and self-centered like we saw here in the center. But the Knight of Wands, more fire sign energy, so Aries, Leo, Sag, this is a card of action. It's fiery, it's explosive. So when I see this, going into this Emperor with the Knight of Wands, it's like explosive action. So whether this is Spirit giving you a heads up saying like, hey, Gemini, get ready. Things are about to start popping off for you. Or Spirit telling you, Gemini, you need to do more. Okay, and no judgment here, but that's just how these cards seem to me. Okay, like there's more you could do, or like it's just very fiery and explosive. So it does feel like explosive action. Okay, so if this is you, Queen of Pentacles, Sun, and you're happy chilling, just watch out for somebody that's a little aggressive around you, because they're going to be making moves. Right? It's like I'm making moves, I'm doing what I got to do. So this could be a little warning about the explosive energy. But there's a lot of action. That's the one thing I could say for sure. It's just here, there, and everywhere. But let's go through and do a quick recap here, Gemini. Then we'll get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Sun. Like I said, beautiful, sturdy, stable, victorious. It's happy where it's at. So I feel like for a lot of you, if this is an energy that's coming in, beautiful, 2 thumbs up. So it's big, massive victory, win-based type of energy. For another portion of you, if that's how something started, to me, it felt like it was almost perfect. That's how it was feeling to me. It's like I can't even pick out something wrong, even if I tried. Moving to the center, we have the 5 of Swords with the Fool in the upright. We have the Emperor. We have the Knight of Wands. Tons of Aries initiator type of energy. Spirit could want you to look out for yourself, your well-being, and do what's right for yourself. And now might be a time to focus on what's right for you. But for another portion of you, I feel like there's either more that you could do or more that you should do. The only warning I see here is watching out for anybody that is way too self-focused and inconsiderate, if that makes sense. Even moving to the back end, we have the Emperor with the Knight of Wands. So this energy is chill in the front. All of this, it's like explosive action popping off, boom, 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 boom. So that could be a warning about certain people. If you're connected to certain people that are a little volatile, take that as a warning. But this could also be Spirit saying like, Gemini, it's coming. Something's about to pop off. But keep making moves. So please take a screenshot. Let's see what's in the shadows. That was definitely one of the more unique readings this week. But let's get you one shadow card. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Now, let's get your shadow card out. What do we have here for my Geminis, please? Quick, very, very quick. Yeah, so we're adding to the fiery royal family here, because you have the Page of Wands showing up as your shadow card. So very similar vibe to all the stuff we've been picking up. And notice, fire, 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 fire. So it's all action, movement. So in the shadows, the Page of Wands could be a communicator, could be about putting your energy into new things. But a shadow side of this is wasting your energy, right? Like, so in this time, Spirit could be telling you like, hey, you either need to conserve your energy or put it towards things that will best serve you. That's a big thing when this card is here, because the Page of Wands, yeah, it's very active, very similar to this Knight, but it could also tire itself out and it could feel burnt out. So in this time for a lot of Geminis, make sure you're not burning yourself out, okay, mentally, emotionally, or physically when this card is here. But Spirit could also be asking you to realign what you're putting your energy towards when this is here. Make sure you're not wasting it. So we're just going to put him down right there, Gemini. That's what I have for you this week. My beautiful friends, don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The February subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out the availability and my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could get a little forecast for the next few weeks for you. But for the February subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you could snap your fingers right now and wish for something, what would it be? It could be anything except more wishes. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.